Good morning, esteemed viewers. Welcome to this wonderful edition of Bystanders at the Newsstand. I am Christian Chiku. We are right here at the bus stop Ogba as we get people talking on various topical issues that we have to present to you today. Today is Tuesday, I think the 22nd of February 2022. I know it's going to be a wonderful day. We have various reports that we have to look at. But before we start, I want to say a big welcome to everyone that's online this morning. Those that have subscribed to Flip TV, a big welcome. And also I welcome our analysts here this morning, committed analysts. They are here to do justice to the newspaper headlines. I have with me Mr. Matthew. I have Mr. Raphael. I have Mr. Chigozie. They are here. Others on their way as we look at the topics, the reports that we have this morning. One report that caught my attention is about Abba Kyari. Okay, how we mean the Daily Independent. Daily Independent. I have also the Daily Trust. Daily Independent. Can we depend on the Daily Independent this morning? Let's look at the reports that we have on the Daily Independent this morning. One story that caught my attention: Abba Kyari slams 500 million naira rights suit against federal government. Abba Kyari slammed 500 million naira rights suit against FG as court declines cop's plea for bail. I'm diabetic, hypertensive. Kyari cries out. I'm diabetic and hypertensive. Abba Kyari cries out. Let's look at the report. Detained former commander of the intelligence response team of the Nigerian Police Force, Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari, has instituted a suit at the Federal High Court against the federal government. Slams 500 million naira suit against the federal government. I am diabetic, hypertensive. Kyari cries out. Gunmen kill 4 NSCDC officers, 6 civilians burn houses in Niger State. Gunmen killed 4 NSCDC officers, 6 civilians burn houses in Niger State. The people are affected, also the officers. Likewise, the police in Niger have confirmed the attack on Galadima Kogo in Shiro local government area of the state, which claimed 10 lives, 4 personnel of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and also 6 civilians. The NSCDC personnel who were said to be on rescue mission to the Nebia village unknowingly ran into improvised explosive device with their patrol vehicle. They ran into an explosive device with their patrol vehicle. Main headline on the Daily Independent: stakeholders warn of more airfare increase after 100% hike in the price of fuel. Airlines free to charge any amount. That is from NCAA, the regulatory body of the airlines. Airlines free to charge any amount. Wow. We are not aware of price fixing, operators. We are not aware of price fixing. Let's look at the story. As controversies continue to rage over the alleged fixing of minimal airfare base to 50,000 naira on one-way economic seats, which is about 100% increase by airline operators of Nigeria. Some of the players in the sector may have warned that more surprises may await the travelers. This is as the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has said that airfares are determined by the forces of demand and supply, and the regulatory agency can only check predation. Okay, APC backtracks to hold national convention March 26. They have changed the date twice this year, or 3 times. I think 3 times they have changed the date. APC backtracks to hold national convention March 26. Why Buhari is delaying assent to electoral bill? That is from the president. I believe the president has a 30-day window before he can assent. Ebonyi Assembly declares deputy speaker seat vacant, elects another. Federal government meets ASU today over warning strike. Court dismisses suit challenging articles. Citizenship. South APC lawmakers endorse Yaya Bello for president. Straight to The Daily Trust. Can we trust the Daily Trust? Obasanjo reveals what Boko Haram told me in 2011. What Boko Haram told me in 2011. Shareholders of MTN and 6 others get 292 billion naira dividend. As federal government loses 3.6 trillion naira from delayed takeoff of e-customs. Federal government loses 3.6 trillion from delayed takeoff of e-customs. Unique committee dilly-dallies on APC convention. Unique committee dilly-dallies on APC convention. Exercise fixed for March 26th. Yobe governor orders one convention primary same day. No ulterior motive in our decisions. All eyes on Buhari as he meets governors today. Federal government projects ongoing despite Chinese loans delay. That is from Lai Mohammed. Federal government projects ongoing despite Chinese loans delay from Lai Mohammed. How terrorists bomb NSCDC commander, 5 others in Niger. How terrorists bombed NSCDC commander, 5 others in Niger State. Presidency to critics, don't play politics with electoral bill. Religious student accused of killing girlfriend turns death in court. I have Mr. Chigozie. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Christian.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure being here this morning.
How NSCDC commander orders were bombed in Niger State. Even the officers are not safe again.
Well, if that should come from a Nigerian journalist, means that I think you've started to agree with the true position that nobody is safe, including yourself, within these constructive states. And it's very unfortunate. I think Nigerian, even the security officers, operatives are reaping from what they have sown over the years. The brutality and the assaults on the citizenry, of course, are now, of course, manifesting. They themselves are not even secure. It is no longer even easy for the Ezekiel, as far as Nigeria is concerned.
It's not easy for Ezekiel.
And even the security officers, operatives are not even safe, are not secure themselves. Then
there's no assurance for our safety there.
Which assurance? Who cares for you?
The security are not secured.
That is the fundamental truth that most people seems to have been denying for several years or decades now.
Living in denial.
And now it's starting at us, and what then can we do? Imagine where an aspirant will say that he's ready to fight 30, rather than to engage the masses in, of course, conveying his manifesto or what he intends to achieve. Of course, he has some uncleared question, of which his integrity is at stake. He's the same man who told us that Buhari is Mr. Integrity, that Buhari will change $1 equivalent to 1 naira. That everything, that in fact, Buhari is the Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln of Nigeria, of Africa.
I remember.
And all this propaganda was intended to, of course, subvert the cause of justice and steal the mandate of the people. And after barely 6 years, he's coming to tell us that he's going to fight 30. And I believe that you are not ready to fight with him. And if by that he means that people should, of course, he's going to jagabanize the Nigerian state in order to burrow his way through the Asoro Villa. Well, I think that may be another dream in the world of fantasy. You rather tell the people what the part you play in this failed system, and you have not come any time to debunk your, or to absolve yourself of the complicity that you are not part of the failed system. Rather, you are telling Nigerian state that you are going to fight 30. I think for me, and I believe millions of Nigerians are not ready
I'm not going to give Tinubu
to
my
be
vote.
part of that
My
system.
vote, if he's going to fight dirty,
It means,
he
of
can
course,
fight in other
he has
people's-
nothing to offer rather than making noise. Those advising him or his media men are not doing the needful. How can you? You have not even become the president or even clinched
the APC
the
presidential
APC
ticket.
presidential ticket, and you are making such noise. And unfortunately, that will speak against him. Rather than focus on what this present dispensation failed to do, which you are a key player and cannot absorb yourself of the complicity of the first system that have brought the Nigerian people to their knees, have of course sunk Nigeria economic wise abysmally, and it's very unfortunate. So the security architecture has collapsed. There is no argument about that, and it is now everybody to himself, and God for us all. If at all God is still concerned about the plight of Nigeria, because he has so many countries who are after him
Obasanjo said
and who are willing to do his bidding. But Nigeria has failed, not only in terms of economy, but in terms of course, their obligation to the gods of heaven.
He asked old politicians to leave state for younger generation. That's from Obasanjo.
Forget about that man. He's busy squandering the money he stole, embezzled from the Nigerian treasury. So I think, unfortunately, if Nigeria is a sane society and where system works, I think this man should have been called to book. Most of the federal properties were confiscated, were seized and converted to his private property.
That's
And Obasanjo, I see moving about free on the streets of Lagos, of Nigeria, and still have the guts to make some unfounded statement. This is a man who, of course, if not that people, of course, prevailed against him, he would have perpetuated himself within the corridor of power by seeking for third term bid. And he's now telling us that the old people should leave because he has lost relevance, of course, and seeking for attention. That's why every time he rushes to the pages of newspaper to make some unfounded and stupid statement, which is not in any way helpful.
What he's saying, at least there's sense in what he's saying.
What sense? If he has the opportunity, he will return back to the corridor of power. What sense is he making? Huh? As young as Jonathan, who would have charted the way forward for Nigeria, he opposed Jonathan because he felt that his selfish interests could no longer be protected. That is the only basis where they have to, of course, fight Jonathan to the point of course, that they have to betray the cause of Jonathan's re-election. On what basis did they reject Jesus, which is supposed angel, which is Jonathan, and of course go for Buhari, who of course Obasanjo is part of what the problem of Nigeria, because his supporter, he don't support for the Buhari administration and cannot deny whatever is happening today, that is not responsible or part of the problem of Nigeria. So with the likes of him still parading themselves within the corridor of power, there can never be a way forward for this country. That is why we are saying it. If everyone cares to know that the future of Nigeria is already mortgaged, as far as this tyrant and we like call it militarized entities are around. So they will want to frustrate, of course, every effort to move the Nigerian state forward because it is serving their purpose, and they continue to remain relevant.
Okay, Abba Kyari slammed 500 million naira rights to suit against federal government. He says, "I'm diabetic, hypertensive." He cries out.
Not only diabetic, he's also sortetic and whatever. He's cokinetic, whatever you can call it, and brutalitic. You see, And when they are caught up in their nets of wickedness, they will want to escape or evade such a verdict. And it's very unfortunate, as his antecedent is not hidden from us, and of course, it's just like mommy water. I mean, romancing Satan, the devil. You can imagine what will come out of that. These are people of the same kingdom, whether the federal government or is anointed candidate or the super corp is does not make any sense.
I think he's in trouble now.
Is in trouble? Who puts it in trouble?
For him to cry out like this, like the other victims that if arrested.
Forget about that. That is just to keep the medias are seeking for the news to carry. It is dead on an arrival. We don't have, Nigeria state does not have a system, a judicial, our criminal justice, of course, system cannot be trusted. You see, that's why, of course, he has the God to make such unfounded statements or claims. So I don't see anything coming out of this.
The lawyer revealed that he has diabetes.
He has diabetes, not only diabetes. Then what happens? What has diabetes to do with if he's found guilty and should be allowed to, of course, the judicial process to take its course? See, this is a man who does not respect the rights of the citizens, and now he's seeking for his right to be respected. It can only happen in Nigeria. It's very unfortunate. A man whose activities, of course, had led to the death of hundreds of thousands of innocent youths, and now is now seeking for some soft landing. Is very unfortunate. Well, for me, I do not, of course, in any way, of course, deny the fact that notwithstanding his antecedent or character, you still have the right to self-defense and also be given that opportunity.
Okay, let's
for such.
Let's move this. Go back. Okay. Lagos is at work. Okay, now there's another issue we have. The price of airfare.
I hope it's still on.
Yeah, no, it's on. The price of airline has increased and people are lamenting. Airlines free to charge any amount.
What? We don't have a federal cargo. The Nigerian airline has been grounded, and this is private sector driving the airspace.
Okay.
So whatever happens, it's unfortunate that they have seen that the system is not responsible, and they could also exploit, of course, the chances of provided by the government itself to rip off the Nigerian travelers or passengers. Okay. It's very unfortunate, and they could charge any amount. Simply means that the government, there are no check and balances, and nobody, of course, to call them to order when they, of course, deviate from, of course, the right track. It means they are free to do whatever they deem necessary, irrespective of whatever the supposed citizens are fed or is feeling. It doesn't matter to them. It's very unfortunate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chigozie.
To have a great day. But the fundamental truth remains: referendum, and again, referendum of Biafra.
Okay. Our regulatory bodies are not alive to their duties. No regulation on price. We see that our airports and our airline companies, according to the reports, airlines free to charge any amount. There's no regulation.
When I say regulation, I don't think regulation has to do with price control. Because it's an open market.
I need to be lectured this morning.
Where demand and supply fixes the price. Just like any other open market. there are areas where I talk about regulation. For instance, there's a standard practice. There are some, like the aircraft. There are some standard it must meet before it will fly. If you fly for a particular number of hours, it must undergo some maintenance.
Okay.
I think these are the necessary areas of regulation, not necessarily fixing price. Because if you fix price, it means it's not a free market.
Okay.
So by our standard,
help and push and go back. How you doing? That bike. Man, I beg. Okay. It seems that Lagos is working. We're talking about the airport process of demand and supply.
So
the market price.
What I was saying in a nutshell is the price of tickets. Even if you say you are looking at regulation,
okay,
it has nothing to do with the price of air. It has nothing to do with air tickets, because it's an open market where demand and supply fixes the price, just like any other open market.
Okay.
But if you are looking at areas of whether a pilot is qualified to fly an aircraft, whether a pilot has gotten the necessary training and retraining, whether an aircraft is being given the necessary maintenance it needs, those are the areas of regulation I think is necessary. Not necessarily saying you are fixing price of air ticket. I don't think it's necessary.
Is there no regulation when it comes to petrol price of petrol?
You see, in Nigeria, I think it's only the PMS, Premium Motor Spirit, that have not been deregulated. Any other product that comes out of crude have been deregulated.
Okay.
Whether you call it kerosene, whether aviation air, whether diesel, name it.
Okay.
They have all been deregulated. The only contentious issue is the Premium Motor Spirit. And we all know the reason. Because it is the most used product of the crude in Nigeria, if not globally. And if you look at the PMS itself, it has multiplier effect in Nigerian economy. So once you tinker with it, you are necessarily tinkering with every other sector of Nigerian economy. So that does explain the reason government have not actually deregulated it.
Okay, why Buhari is delaying to assent to the electoral bill? They say he has a 30 window to still decide on the electoral bill. That people should not just criticize.
Nobody is saying Mr. President do not have 30 days window, which include to either assent or decline assent to that electoral amendment bill. But again, I think I watched one of his spokesman this morning, Mr. Additional on channel television. This is their Sunrise Daily. I saw him struggle without success to defend Mr. President on this issue.
Struggle without success?
Yes.
Without success?
Yes.
Okay.
Because for me, I think Mr. President is doing a great service to this country and to the democracy and to Nigerian democracy. The reason is not far-fetched. Look at this current Mr. President. He have a history of declining assent to electoral bill.
That's a history.
Yes. Under Saraki, he declined assent up to 2 or 3 times. At the end of the day, he used a flimsy excuse to say that there was no time to address it. And he's at it again. What I understand is that Mr. President do not want to sign that bill. Because if he wants to sign it, somebody who has 30 days window which is quick to sign or decline assent will wait for the expiration of the 30 days before reverting to National Assembly and giving a reason. I look at the last reasons he had used for declining assent and sending the bill back to National Assembly, it borders on one, consensus candidate. Secondly, that the constitution or the electoral act should not restrict political parties to using direct primary. And these issues have been addressed. National Assembly in its magnanimity have captured all its concerns. So I don't know why it's still tarrying. For me, Mr. President have ulterior motive. He's afraid that if he does this, his party stand a risk of losing 2023 election. Because for me, I look at the issues raised by the CLO.
Additional.
No, the CLO organizations in Nigeria.
Okay, CSOs.
Yes.
Civil society organizations.
Sorry, civil society organizations. They were to hold rally today. Because if you look at electoral, the proposal, yes, the electoral bill that is before him for assent, it tells you that INEC have a window of INEC is bound by law to give political parties 360 days as notice of election before the election will be held. And if you look at between now and when 2020 election is holding, I think February 18 or so, 2023, you have about 365 or 64 days.
Okay.
So by implication, if Mr. President wait until 31st of this month,
less than a year.
No, if you wait for the yes, if you wait for the is it 31st? If you wait for the end of this month to assent to that bill or to reject that bill, it means the timetable already released by INEC cannot hold. It means INEC have to think out with that timetable. It means they have to adjust it.
Okay.
Because it's not eating into the time that is required by law for INEC to give to political parties which is quick to conduct election. So from all indication, Mr. President do not want to sign this bill. What I'm saying is this. Look at petroleum industry bill. It was an executive bill. When it was transmitted to Mr. President, he signed with a speed of light. Even after signing it, he picked holes so that there are one or two areas that needed amendment. And he quickly arranged an amendment and forwarded to National Assembly, which is still pending before the National Assembly. So if Mr. President have any concern, nothing stopping from signing the electoral bill and raising the issues of amendment and forwarding it back to National Assembly. For me, Mr. President is deliberately delaying that electoral bill because he doesn't want to assent to it. And if he assents to it today, he has assented to it because of pressure from civil liberty organizations. Don't forget that recently Mr. President have raised concern where he was telling world leaders, diplomats, that they should not meddle into Nigerian politics. And it's simply because the whole world is putting pressure on Mr. President and Nigerian government to give us enabling laws that will guarantee free, fair, and credible election. And the only way you can guarantee free, fair, and credible election in Nigeria currently is for us to have INEC having that independence to transmit the election result electronically. Okay. And the only way to do that is for Mr. President to assent to that bill. Unfortunately, the National Assembly that have the right to override Mr. President doesn't have that willpower. Okay. So we cannot rely on the National Assembly to say, okay, say Mr. President decline assent, override him. Because you look at the two leadership of the National Assembly, they are stooges of this executive.
Alleged.
I said that's stooge. Because
alleged now.
Even if you say, I am saying because of the antecedents. I've not seen them. If, of course, when Mr. President raised the issue of consensus candidates, raised the issue of the constitution not restricting political parties to using direct primaries, one would have expected that they would have stand on their ground and say, okay, what we have done is in the best interest of Nigerian democracy, is the best interest of Nigerian political parties. If you are not ready to assent to it, we will override you. Initially, they hinted the idea of overriding Mr. President. Before you knew it, they chicken out. But I'm not even arguing in that direction. Hence, they have given the president all the necessary requests. I don't think Mr. President is justified by any means to say he's still delaying assent to that bill. Except otherwise, Mr. President is afraid that his political party stand a risk of losing that 2023 general election. Because if you look at the current status quo, it gives any ruling party the leverage to manipulate the system. The issue that has to do with ballot snatching, ballot stuffing, election result manipulation can only be feasible under the current scenario. If you think out with this status quo by giving us, by ascending to this electoral bill, you will remove all the issue of ballot snatching, ballot stuffing, and to a large extent, you remove the issue of electoral result manipulation. Okay. Because what it tells you that by the time you declare result in terms of polling units, you have the leverage as other worker or whoever is conducting the election to snap or to transmit the election result electronically to any portal, where all the rightful accredited election observers, whether international or local, and even individuals, can have access to. And the monitor result as a trickling in. You can even have your station rule as a press organization, just as ANEC is collecting their result, you are collecting your result, and at the end of the day, it will tally. But because Mr. President is afraid that if he does the right thing, his party may lose the election. I'll remind you this. He does the right thing. Yes. I'll remind you this. Buhari have said it repeatedly, that he won the election of 2015 because of introduction of Carida. And Buhari should remember that somebody was ruling this country when he allowed INEC to use Carida. If Jonathan wanted to be mischievous, he could have used his power to frustrate INEC from using that, from introducing that Carida. But since Jonathan was magnanimous enough to deepen democracy, to allow all these regulations to strive, and he lost election gallantly, I think Buhari should give us deepen democracy more by signing this electoral Act amendment bill, so that we can have free, fair, and credible election in this country. So that, you see, the way it stands today, youths are already demoralized, because there's a thinking, there's a feeling that if you are going into election, they already know who is going to win. That is already pre-planned. So for that reason, people do not want to, youth do not want to participate. But if there is guarantee that vote is counting, that if you vote, your vote will be counted, I think they will begin to grow that interest, and they will start participating. Okay, APC backtracks to hold National Convention March 26. All eyes on Buhari as he meets governors today. The same problem why why Mr. President and Presidency is gambling with that electoral Act amendment bill is the same thing you are seeing in APC. Because you can see clash of interests. As you speak, there's a group accusing Memana Buni-led Ketka Committee of trying to hijack the party structure and trying to force leadership on the party and trying to force candidates on the party. I want a party where you regard Mr. President as the leader of the party, because in this regard, both PDP and APC are culpable. Especially where you are king, you are a king and you are a kingmaker at the same time. They say power corrupt and absolute power corrupt. Absolutely. That's what you are seeing in APC and PDP. How can you be the president and you are a king? How can you be the king and you are a kingmaker? You are the president and you are the leader of the party. Who will then call you to order? Now, everybody is looking out to Mr. President to determine who becomes the next party national chairman of the APC. Now, let me tell you this. If you look at the reason Buhari may not be assenting to this electoral bill, you know, he talked about consensus. And then in the wisdom of National Assembly, they want further to deepen issue of consensus. So say that if you have 10 aspirants, for instance, in a political platform, that all the aspirants must consent to that consensus in writing. That if there's one dissenting voice, that all the aspirants have to go for primary. And this is against the intention of the presidency. They wanted them to leave the vacuum open, so that somebody somewhere can sit somewhere and impose a candidate on the system and say it is consensus. As you understand, and those are the areas that National Assembly have cleverly held Mr. President to account. Because Mr. President cannot come out openly to tell the world that this clause is the reason I'm not assenting. And if you look at it critically, that is the reason Mr. President is not assenting to that bill. Because it will remove that monopoly of abuse power. It will remove the ability for somebody to sit somewhere and impose a candidate and assume that it's consensus. Once there's a dissenting voice and the person is coming out to say, no, I'm not part of this arrangement, what the proposed amendment is saying is that all the applicants should go for primary. And I think Mr. President and the presidency is not comfortable with that.
Okay, lastly, federal government loses 3.6 trillion naira from delayed takeoff of e-customs projects. I don't know if you have read that story.
No, I've not read it. But what I can understand is
going to give us over $8 billion.
What I can understand is Nigeria even ripe for all these e-transactions? Because if you look at even the naira that they floated, I see they floated the other day. How efficient is it? As the takeoff, people find it difficult to download. I downloaded it, I find it difficult to use. So I don't know how efficient is it. What I'm trying to say is, I think there are so many fundamentals that we need to address before launching into all these global stage of using e-transaction. Because for me, we are not right in so many areas. So we need to interrogate most of the fundamentals, make sure we get it right. Is it not even surprising that even as at the time Nigerian government said Nigerians should not use Twitter, VPN could give people access to using Twitter. So it tells that Nigeria is not in charge. So you are playing in a sector where you only operate on the basis of what is allowed, what you are allowed to do by the people who are midwifing the system, who are controlling the system. So I think Nigerian government, you see, under Obasanjo, we had SAT1, SAT2. I don't know what has happened to it. That would have given us a level of independence when it comes to access to internet. So I think Nigerian government should be thinking of how to get their independent satellites to launch. I'm not saying we have the technology, but we can partner with some world organizations and some countries that is willing to help us in that regard, instead of all the dependence that is not giving us what we need.
Okay, lastly, I'm suspecting that most of these delay in convention, CBC convention, and not signing the electoral bill, there's a ploy, the plan to unseat somebody who wants to be a presidential candidate in Nigeria.
Whether I like it or not, it's because of interest. Whether I like it or not, the reason you are not, Mr. President, delaying is assenting to that electoral amendment bill is because of interest. The delay in APC organizing their national convention is because of interest. Even as we stand, there are some people already accusing Mai Mala Buni of trying to use a particular governor as running mate to a particular aspirant. So all you are seeing is politics. And in Nigeria, what you see is pecuniary interest. That is what drives the Nigerian politicians. They are not being driven by patriotism. They are not being driven by bringing the dividend of democracy to the people. They are not being driven by what you want to do for the people, to deepen democracy. Rather, they are being driven by their pecuniary interest, personal aggrandizement. What will I get? How will I enhance wealth? That is what drives average Nigerian politicians.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Matthew, have Mr. Zaraf. Good morning.
Good morning, listen.
Good morning, Salah.
You guys are running to and fro this morning. I saw you going.
Construction going on.
Yes. They dislodged you from the former place to another place there, and as if that was not enough, you still evacuated from that place.
Like 3 times to this place.
It's all.
Have you heard something? Abba Kyari Islam Sakremia.
Yes, I like.
Against Say it's diabetic.
No, it's diabetic. And they are hypertensive as well. They said is chronically ill. I read it on the funny news. And not only that, Abba Kyari has been linked to an estate at Lekki and other places, estates. Then not only that, has been linked again, not only the cocaine deal, to 3 billion naira worth of tramadol. You understand? The guy runs a drug cartel, and not only that, many facts will stay,
Why is that when they arrest some notable persons, You now start saying
he was getting, and many things will start coming up.
I'm ill.
So he starts asking for, bail,
medical leave
based on medication or medical issue. Shall understand? Do you know why? He knows that anytime. No, I'm asking you now. Do you know that anytime a Nigerian officer, public office holder is arrested and releases, if they release him, that is all. Bail. If they grant Abba Kyari bail, mark my word, you won't see anything like that case again.
But this guy, that pension guy, he was granted, but he was still arrested.
Mena was rearrested. He was given house arrest. After arresting Mena was in detention till date. I think he has been jailed now.
Yeah, he has been jailed, yeah.
Thank you. Remember Olisametu own. They hold on to him. They don't want bail. They don't want him bailed because if they eventually allow him to, go on bail, you won't see Olisametu again. Same thing, this Abba Kyari. That's why he's finding all way. You understand? He's scheming to see that he's been, bailed. He's out. If they bail Abba Kyari is gone. That is Nigerian system for you. If they bail him, he will start working for his freedom. They won't apply due process again. Law will never catch up with him again. He will go free. That's why you see that NDLO is holding him. Court is holding him too. Court did not allow him bail. Application. Thank you. Court knows. That is our system. If they let him off the hook now, just on bail basis, Abba Kyari will be gone. We just go scot-free. Nobody will hear about the case again. That's why they're holding on to him. Look at many charges are now hanging on his neck. Tramadol, cocaine. Cocaine is what revamped the old case of Abba Kyari now.
Where he campaigned against drug.
Thank you. They showed the picture. That is it. That is our system. They are thieves. They are still looking for who to arrest or catch as a thief, while they themselves are thieves. That is Nigerian system for you. Now, he has been campaigning against drug, when he himself runs a drug cartel from Nigeria, Ethiopia, and Brazil. If he has not taken United States of America. Do you know the system we are? Abba Kyari is a thief who has been campaigning for armed robbers, killing people in Anambra State, many in Lagos State, Abuja, all over the country, while he himself is an armed robber. Abba Kyari in connivance with Evans was doing what? Kidnapping people across Nigeria.
Why did they not arrest Evans?
Why did they not arrest Evans? Let me tell you, Abba Kyari was the one who arrested Evans because he knows every modus operandum of Evans. He went to his house at Magodo Estate. The house of that young man, he sees no less than jewelries, gold, diamond, over 500 million naira. Then the catch he made away from Evans' house was more than $1 million, 500 and something thousand euro. This is what I read, and pounds. Are you listening to me? He made away with all this. Then what about his houses? The document to Evans' houses, properties, nationwide, is with him. See, many facts are unfolding with time. With time, we got to know much, very much about this man, the Super Cop, called the Super Cop. He is a criminal. In Nigeria here, they will initiate a platform to fight corruption while they themselves are the master of corruption. Look at, right from the time of Obasanjo initiated the EFCC, Economic and Financial Crime Commission. Do you know how many government officials that were indicted? How many of them were persecuted? Many, thousands of Nigerian public office holders were indicted by EFCC. How many were prosecuted? Do you know see what happened to Tafa Balogu, the former IG under Obasanjo? Tafa Balogu was indicted and was jailed or let off the hook, and he was sacked. Nothing again was done about it. Look at Mago. The only person that did not indict, that was not indicted, was, let me tell you, Nuhu Ribadu. And that guy that first handled that platform, if you ask me, is still the best among them. The people that handle EFCC administration, the best among them, and the first is only this man called Nukuribadu. I think understand, he has not, never.
Abba Kyari is not alone.
Abba Kyari is not alone, he's working with government. Yes, it's a good statement, I like that. Abba Kyari is not alone, the entire police forces, the entire police. Let me tell you. Okay, there are some good ones anyway, they are with him. Do you understand? Some public office holders, governmental departments holders, do you understand? They are with Abba Kyari. I'm telling you, they are with Abba Kyari. Abba Kyari is not alone. Abba Kyari is federal government. Federal government is Abba Kyari. You listen to what I'm saying. Abba Kyari is not alone. I like that. Many more are coming, okay, to limelight. We are going to know the people behind him with time. Okay, there's a big Buba Marwa led NDLOA. They are going to grill him the more.
I love that man. That man has.
Oh, he has good record when he was the governor of Lagos State, military administration under Abacha. Buba Marwa was the best governor among all. Nobody beat his record.
What is that police formation? Operation Sweep.
Operation Sweep. He initiated Operation Sweep in 1996. The first thing he did to Lagos State was what? To checkmate the security dilapidation of these states. Everybody was running helter-skelter in 1986 because armed robber has virtually taken over the whole Lagos. And when Buba Marwa came in, he initiated Operation Sweep. And let me tell you, Operation Sweep worked so effectively. More than any other anti-crime outfit in Nigeria. It was initiated by this man, Buba Marwa. And if you see the work he's doing in NDLA now, let me tell you, the guy is arresting the situation of what illicit drug affairs in Nigeria.
Among the Buhari's cabinet is one person that has performed
outrightly well, just within a space of not up to 2 years. Just within a space of 12 months. Look at Marwa's achievements. I think understand this is the kind of people we need at the presidency level. Because if you give Marwa, oh my God, as a president, if you give him the chance to become Nigerian president, I think Marwa would go far. Everybody loved Marwa. Marwa, when he was governor of Lagos State, I remember an incident that happened around Allen Avenue Junction. Marwa convoy was moving. They caught this man within their convoy. You know what happened? All these soldiers, they came and started beating the man. Marwa alighted from his vehicle, approached the gentleman, followed the gentleman, rebooked all his security operatives. I'm telling you, he made a statement that he said, I'm not here to kill anybody or to punish anybody. I am their governor. Gentleman, I am their governor. He apologized to the man. I'm telling you, everybody applauded Marwa. Marwa was a good governor. Marwa is a good man. Marwa is not among all these usurpers, all these murderers that are ruling Nigeria as governors and presidents. Marwa is a good man. I'm telling you, and you can see.
And I pray he does well with that case.
No, you see one thing. Marwa will never allow Abba Kyari to go unpunished. Mark my word. Marwa was the man who told his men to play along with him, that they should not let him go or rebuke him or, just discharge the case like that. Thank you. He tell them, just cooperate with him as if you are dancing along with him. And they did that. And that was when they caught up with him totally. He submitted. He made confession after confessions that this is what he was doing with those drug cartels from Nigeria here, Ethiopia, Brazil, even United States of America. See, facts are unfolding. With time, you will know that this man is involved in drug trafficking from Nigeria to United States and other parts of Europe.
Buhari is delaying assent to electoral bill?
He's delaying signing electoral bill because Buhari knows that will profile.
They have a 30-day window, but it does not elapse.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, signing electoral bill by the so-called Buhari will arrest the situation of election rigging malpractices in Nigeria. If Buhari signs electoral bill, that is all. It's like a coup d'etat to all those professional riggers in Nigeria. no government will rig election again. Because if we sign it into law, nobody, it means our vote will be counting. Anytime we vote, it will count. Anytime we vote,
trace our votes.
we can trace our votes.
Where it's going to?
We can vote, and that which we vote for will be given to us. That's why I think he's avoiding it. I don't know what to understand. He went to EU meeting in Belgium. EU and AU meeting. You know what this man did? He was imploring those Europeans to go against coupists in Africa. To me, it is wrong because he overthrew democratically elected government of Kyari. I don't know why he must make that, he should make that request. You know what he would have asked for? He would have asked the European countries to go against election riggers in Africa. Rigging is too much in African continent. No country gets it right when you talk about election. In Uganda, it was rigged. In Kenya, it was rigged. Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe rigged election for how many years in Zimbabwe? Until his death, he was rigging election. Do you know that Nigeria kept on rigging from 70s, 90s, 80s, even to this new millennium? No election was free and fair in the past in Nigeria. And currently, as I'm talking to you now, 2023, those vultures, they are what? Strategizing on how to rig 2023 elections. So, when he was in EU meeting, he would have asked them to help fight what? Election riggers in Africa. Which I know, of course, is one of them. That's why he could not bring up that topic there. If I could be in their shoes over there, I would have asked him, why not election riggers? Why not fight against people that rig election? Each and every time there is election in Africa, countries of Africa, they rig it and rig it and rig it. Why? And even the election that brought you, did you not rig it? I would have asked him there. Let me tell you, in fact, the meeting that Buhari went to Belgium, if you ask me from my heart, they should have arrested him because he committed that crime he was telling them to fight.
Okay, lastly, let's look at again APC delays
their convention now. You know, these people, God, Nemesis is catching up with them. There's no how APC is going to have a credible convention, you know, peaceful convention without fights. See what is happening already in Shun State. Abba Kyari is fighting his Oga, his man, his right man, Tinubu. You understand? Over primary, gubernatorial primary in Shun State. And the still the incumbent carried the day. I don't know why the guy will be wasting his time. Nobody, nothing like godfatherism again in Nigeria. People are going against godfatherism. Abba Kyari has gone against godfatherism. That was when he started insulting Buhari. While he's playing godfatherism in Shun State, he wants, what is the name of this? Oyetola, you understand, to dance to his tune. He wants to bend him, you understand, to be responding to him, but it's not possible. You are trying to what? Spank or spite Tinubu, you understand, over his political dynasty in the southwest. While you yourself, you want to be godfather to Shun State, every governor that comes there. Do you understand? I don't know why we are like this. And at the same time, you are Nigerian Minister of Interior. I don't want to understand. So it has come to stay. Election malpractices, imbalances in Nigerian politics. Now, their own convention is not going to hold because they don't trust themselves. Their house is not in order. Okay. Who is the chairman of APC today? Or Puni? Everybody is fighting that Puni will not be. This one is saying this one will come to be. This one will say this one will not be. This one is not good. So how do you think that the convention is going to hold? Okay. The convention is not going to hold.
Thank you very much.
Because their houses are not in order. And I want to remind you, do you know what is happening in Anambra State now? Obiano is going come 17th March. 17th March next month, Obiano will do what? Hand over to Soludo. And do you know what he's saying? He said, look at me. If I hand over to my successor, of course, Charles Soludo, I'm going to rest. No other political office again, you will find me. I want to go and have my rest. I want to rest. So understand, to get strength, because I've lost a lot of energy and strength. If you look at me, I'm emaciated because of the previous office I held. How do you expect me to go into politics? Let me just have my rest. I did well in Anambra State. I don't need anybody to tell me because I constructed over 131 bridges. One international airport, one of the best in Nigeria. And that's something, I think 100 something road and let's say 18 bridges in Anambra State. In terms of infrastructure, Obiazon was the one speaking. I've done well in Anambra State.
Okay.
He is now telling us that it's only his wife that will go for Anambra North senatorial zone. He said wife is going, that he's going to support his wife.
Okay, thank you very much. I have Oluwa one. Give them the language. What's the language?
Language. What is the language? The language is everybody just moving. Everybody's moving. Keep on moving. Don't look back.
No.
Keep on moving and moving about your department of what you are going to eat. This is surviving of the princess.
Let nothing stop you.
Nothing.
Your brother.
We are winning the department of the
Your brother Abba Kyari says he has diabetes.
Okay, never told us before that he have. He never told us this language before. He's afraid of the jail, and he's going to die. He's going to perish.
Every man is going to die.
But in those language is different. Now he's afraid. Okay, yesterday never told us that he have any ailment. He was always a super cop. After he detected in the horoscopy, Yahoo, now cocaine. They're supposed to jail him now. They don't waste time.
So he's under detention like this.
He's under detention now.
He's suing the federal government 500 million naira.
He's suing federal government?
Yes. 500 million naira right suit against federal government. He says,
so he's not suing. Yeah. That is the rich also crying now. He's not crying because he have done things.
Why is it that when these people are being arrested, they look for
one excuse or the other because they know that that place is hell. And you are sending people to hell those days. But now your deal has opened. Your gari that you are soaked, it has swelled up. You have to drink it. Nobody will drink it with you. Let him drink it. So if federal government, so federal government 500 billion, they can't pay you. You can't drink your gari that you soak. You are a bad cop. You are not a super cop anymore. You are degrading the entire Nigeria police force. Imagine, see the kind of cartel you are moving with. As a high-profile police officer, see the kind of rank, they give you the kind of position to maintain, and you now underground fall everything down. What if you are not arrested, you are not educated, you are not become an IG tomorrow? What will Nigeria future policemen be? So God, we thank God for exposing people like you, and you will serve what you have done. You can't escape it.
Somebody said that the Nigerian judicial system will not.
No, they will do it now. See, for example, if somebody like Marwa is not there, it could have been another game entirely. Because I like Marwa in that work that he's doing, INDLA, because it's magnetic, untouchable. See somebody like Abba Kyari, see the kind of he was giving people money, bribing, a whole super cup like that. They have done millions of dirty deeds on the ground. Wow. God just exposed him, and we give glory to God, and a thanks to Marwa administration.
Okay, APC has again postponed their convention.
APC, it's like their house is not in order. So they are looking for one way or the other.
Let them understand the language.
The language is that their house is in a purity, impurity. They are in a dangerous corner. So they are looking for a way to amend it before they make convention, because it's going to be a war front. It's going to be a war detective, because they are going to bring that gun and axe and matches, because they are talking. They are very talky. APC is very talky, so they are afraid. They are shifting. I'll just pray for God to let there be peace in their unity. Let them have unity. Then they can make it a very tangible convention, because the future is a big game coming. So their candidates, they are not understanding their own candidate. They are not believing in their own candidates. They don't believe in their own candidate. They are not trustworthy. Wow. They're supposed to have a tangible candidate.
Okay, let's say lastly, Obasanjo has said that all the old politicians should go and sit down and leave the presidency for the young people.
Yes, Obasanjo is saying the truth, because he knows his time is up. So you can hear, because the truth is bitter, the truth will set us free. Because if we don't say the truth now, who is going to say the truth? Because nobody's here. Many of them, they will know the truth, they are just keeping it.
That language of Obasanjo said is a welcome development because let all of them go home and resign and retire. They are above retirement. Now, what are they still doing in the corridor of power? They are there many years ago. They should go and sit down and leave the room for the young ones to come and bring fresh ideology, fresh thinking, fresh information that will bring Nigeria upward. The old school, let them go home and retire and sleep and rest.
Can you mention names?
Obasanjo, Atiku, Tinubu, all of them, they should go and rest. They should go and rest. They have been there. Now somebody that is controlling Lagos since 1999. Tinubu. Now you are saying you have to use it by force. That language is unacceptable. Say you will fight dirty. What is the meaning of that language? Are you going to you restore yourself by force as a president? So they let them go. Let them go home. Obasanjo make a fantastic statement there.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome, Abba.
You are one. Yeah, we have come to the end. Bystanders, how the news stand this morning? Thank you very much for being part of the program. I am Christian Choko. Thank you for your patience, for your patronage, for being a very, very good listener, and also those that have participated on the live chat. Mr. Taiwo Odulade, thank you very much. Obike Gertrude, thank you very much. Bryce, thank you very much. Funigas, thank you very much, very much, very much. I feel you also. Livino Zekwe, thank you very much. I have Pete Pat, wonderful. Iyerioba 1, my man. Iyerioba 1. Thank you very much. Jerek, wonderful guy. Thank you very much. Liz Zed, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Consistent person this morning. I have Justice League. Thank you very much. For Nigeria. For Nigeria, thank you. I hope it's not 2 Nigeria, not 3 Nigeria. Thank you very much. Samuel Unang, thank you very much. Agwebo Mafidon, thank you very much for being part of the program. I have Mr. Lucky here this morning. You should give us the update. Come on, Mr. Lucky.
Good morning. Sorry, I just come late. I have to rush because
Abba Kyari sues federal government 500 million naira. Who? Abba Kyari.
Oh,
diabetic and hypertensive.
Leave all this was story. Good morning, my brothers and sisters over there. May God bless you. And my name is Lucky Ayaguna. I don't know Lagos. You all know.
Okay.
Actually, Abba Kyari, I told you, Northerners, they love themselves. Imagine.
But he's not going to escape this one.
Imagine a criminal who has been detaining people, innocent people, now claim to sue the federal government because you know why? He knows them. All of them are the same. He knows that all of them there, nobody's free, nobody's clean, including the president. I know what I mean. That's why I said people that president trust, believe, most of them are corrupt. EFCC, Magu, where is it today? I mean, plus, where is it today? So, including him, Abba Kyari, Lagos, Abba Kyari, Abuja, Abba Kyari everywhere. Super, different names. The best training to abroad. Squander our money. The money will work itself out. Use it to feed them. There are many, they are still there. Go to any police station, go to Army Barrack, go to Navy, feed with all these people. They're out there. They do anything they like. They collect money, they spend money anyhow, go to the railway. All you see, they hardly see a Yoruba man, or a Edo man, or Igbo man in railway, heading big posts. These posts are being headed by the Northerners. But still yet, they are the one corrupt. Suing millions of dollars. Are we spending dollars in Nigeria? Why not Naira? Because all I know, they are all the same. So I know that case is going to be useless because they will fight him.
I investigated him. Is a Northern Amarawa.
Forget it. They will settle it when they come for Emir. They might go to Emir or Kaduna, but you know they will settle it. I will tell you that nothing will happen to Abba Kyari.
No.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Today is what? 22. Last week, what did I told you? That the man will fight federal government. At the end, they will settle it. Write it down. Abba Kyari will not be changed. Today, where is Mustafa? Who shot Abiola? Today, Mustafa is even doing campaign to become a governor or president. So where is it today?
Al Mustafa.
Yes. Do you think if an Igbo man, do that, they will kill him? I don't mean. So, my brother, anything not an us, they are them. They love themselves, their brothers. So this thing is a jamboree, nothing will happen.
Okay, why is Buhari delaying assent to electoral bill?
When the APC was opposition, they were clamoring on that they are going to reform electoral bill and Buhari benefit. He contested elections several times and he failed. And he said when he came in, that he's going to change everything to make sure Nigeria benefit today. They are the one holding it. They are the one destroying the election. They are the one, they know that if he sign it, the table will turn around against them. So they're afraid of signing it. But let me tell you, PVC, thank God for good luck, who brought PVC. But without this act signing, PVC is useless. Because the reason is that, let me tell you, why it's not doing that? They know if they do it in the north, they are going to suffer it. Because why? In the north, they can't vote. They only can't vote the south. Me and you, we only monitor the vote in the north. If you look at the last vote, look at teenager, 10 years old, 9 years old, 7 years old, voting, completing 4 times, 3 times. Can it happen here? No. So let me tell you, we are not one. We are just forcing ourselves together. I don't know what I mean. So the North will still be deciding vote for Nigeria because by the time Lagos release 5 million, Ghana will release 7 million. And that is it. So we are just a slave. They are master. I always say it. Go and write it down. Everywhere in Nigeria, filled with Aboki, filled with Mala, filled with Fulanis. Now, can we learn lesson for that? No. So my prayer is that whether you send the election or whether I send the act or whether I send anything or all I know is that let God bring somebody that will change this country to a better height.
Okay, APC has also postponed its convention again. This is the 3rd time.
Yeah, APC is afraid.
March 26th.
APC is afraid. What they are doing now is not a new thing. PDP do the same thing. At the end, they lost the election. APC will lose the election. The people on the only person that is handling APC is Buhari now. Is a rope. By the time he leaves, the rope will cut. So APC is afraid to do their convention. Because you know why? They have 3 factions in the APC. The rope will cut. I don't mean. Now, very soon the rope will cut. See, this time around, let me tell you the truth. APC cannot take us to anywhere again. They are bad Nigerians. Terms of infrastructure, terms of economy, terms of security, terms of anything food, terms of food, terms of health, terms of education. They are fed up. Are you aware? ASU is on strike. You see, we that is managing to pay school fees, our children's school fees, they are top now. They are on strike under APC. Nigeria has gone back to Egypt. We are even more than Egypt now. We are worse than Egypt. I know what I mean. So, my brother, I sorry for this country. I cry for this country because of this old man who doesn't know, who doesn't have upstairs on their head. So, now everybody is talking about election, 2023, 2020, who will become. I pray God should bring a good leader, either for PDP, either for ABGA, either for Labour, either for APC, because APC is just a name of party. PDP is a name of party. Please, I pray God should bring a person that will unite this country. But for me, this president is supposed to come from Southeast. Let it be injustice. Let it come from Southeast. I don't know what Tinubu looking for. He has a name, he has money, he has wealth. He just want to go to Asura. Advise him, Tinubu, please, let the younger people come up. Go and sit down. Because Asorok is a place where I don't know what they buried there. Once they get there, they change their life.
Okay.
Please, I am begging Buhari. I am begging Atiko. I am begging Tudubu. I am begging these people who are more than 70. They should lay down their ego. Allow the younger people to come in. We have people who we made in this country. We have them. I am begging them, please, please, don't destroy this country the way you destroy it. You have everything. Imagine Tudubu can turn Etiosa to his house, to his company. Please, are you sure? If you are not coming to Nigeria, to turn Nigeria to your house. Please, we have younger people. They are here. Excuse me. If Ambode can come out, Wike can come out. Some Okorocha can come out.
Yaya Bello.
Forget Yaya Bello. Forget Yaya Bello. It's not their turn. It's time for the South to produce president. Yaya Bello imagines some group is south. Say Yaya Bello. Who is Yaya Bello? Yaya Bello that cannot even manage Kogi State. It's not Kogi State. Yaya Bello, I went to Kogi State. Road to Government House was not tight. I know, I went there. What did they have there? What is he going to do? He can't do anything. The first tenor, he don't do anything. Where a wife was begging Kogi people, they should give second time. He's not doing anything. We have to see when you are talking about Ambode, us, Wike, yes, or Obi, there are people that have all the new governor who want to become governor. The Anambra State now, Soludo. There are people. Kisi, there are people. Let all these old men who visit people, they urinate their pint, they shoot it everywhere they go. No. This time around, with the youth, I am saying it. God will use a youth that will turn this country around, that the way it's turning Ghana, that the way it's turning other country. So, we are doing our own here. We are protesting. We are telling the world that this time around is the time of the youth. Thank you very much. God bless you. My name is Lucky Eyaguna. Edo don't be Lagos. Edo can never be Lagos. I'll tell you the reason why. In Edo State, one man cannot decide in Edo. One man cannot decide in Edo. Anani was there, they pull it out.
He decide.
The manager will pull it out.
He did decide at some
in Lagos, one man will decide every year that Lagos can never take it from him. You will see very soon. Very soon. If you see that Lagos is about to go, he will rather leave the president and face Lagos. That will happen. And I promise you, Tinubu will say, instead of it to collect Lagos from me, I better leave the presidency and say Lagos. You know why? So many things are hiding under his nyash. So he knew that if the way things are going, if PDP collect Lagos, all this property will be collected. So he will not like to go further. He would like to withdraw to protect Lagos. That's why I say, I don't know the Lagos. My language, I said, Edo people will win that election. Now, Obasanjo was in APC. APC rejected him. That they brought Ezeyamu, that they condemned before. But we now say, no, they are going to decide. We decide. I will not use Obasanjo today. That's why I say, Edo don't be Lagos. Edo can never be Lagos. We Edo will say yes, yes. But we say no, no. This time around, Nigeria, a youth will rule Lagos. And it might be opposition PDP, it might be other person, but not Tinubu campaign. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lucky. We will keep on looking at the way the events unfold and see what comes out of the politics of 2023. I'm Christian Chico. Bye for now. Till tomorrow, I'll meet for another edition of Bystanders. Before I go, I have my Oga here. My Ogas here. I have Mr. Femi, and I will have put the flag this morning. Bye for now. Till tomorrow, I'll meet by God's grace. Thank you very much.